Let's check in with Kim Jones out at Giants practice. Good morning, football, Kim.
Good morning, Kay and guys. How are you?
We're great. Thanks so much for joining us. Now, Victor Cruz made his long-awaited return to the practice field this week. What's the latest on the wideout?
Well, the latest, Kay, is exactly what Victor Cruz told me Saturday in Buffalo when he made the trip to the Giants preseason game against the Bills. He's on track. He will play this Saturday against the Jets. He was able to get back on the practice field Monday. He has worked every day since. And Kay, significantly, offensive coordinator Mike Sullivan told the media yesterday that he sees visions of 2011 in terms of the quickness, explosiveness, and suddenness from Cruz. Why is that significant? Because first of all, in 2011, Victor Cruz was a terrific receiver. He looked a lot like that guy running around the practice field and shaking hands there with Odell Beckham Jr. But he was also a guy who could make big plays for this Giants team. 2 leg injuries later, a torn patella tendon, a calf injury a year ago that required surgery. For him to be showing suddenness and explosiveness would indicate he's back. I've had players and teammates who care a lot about Cruz and like him and want him on the field say they believe his hurdle right now is mental, not physical. Perhaps right now he is confident enough to show what he can show, and if it's anything like 2011, the Giants will be absolutely delighted.
Now, Kim, you mentioned 2011. That was a long time ago. This team has changed. The complexion of this squad and of this offense is really completely different. Now, if you're saying that Cruz can come back and he will be back better than ever, how does he fit in with this offense where Odell is a rock star, just like Kyle has said, and Sterling, the rookie, has made waves, and he's a guy that can step into the lineup?
Well, Nate, I would gently correct you. I did not say better than ever.
Okay,
better than ever would give
right.
the Giants a receiving core that would really be remarkable.
Yeah.
If he is Victor Cruz again, if he can be 80% of Victor Cruz, you add in Odell Beckham Jr. Sterling Shepard has had a very strong training camp as a rookie, perhaps as strong as a rookie receiver could have in this camp. He's had it. So the Giants have a lot of youth around Cruz. Keep in mind, Odell Beckham Jr. is a playmaker, and there's a lot of responsibility with this franchise on Beckham's shoulders. He is that good a player. But in terms of leadership, if Victor Cruz can be in that receiving room as a guy who is contributing, as a guy who can lead, don't discount the value that would have when he is surrounded by guys who are in their 3rd year and younger, mostly, when he looks around that room. So Cruz, very important for many different reasons to the New York Giants.
Yeah, leadership. Excellent point there, Kim. Now, there's a lot of excitement surrounding this Giants team, but they've had a rough preseason. What's been the main focus this week? Does it feel different out there following that shutout loss against Buffalo?
Well, the main focus has just been improving, and what Ben McAdoo talked about, Kay, is taking what he sees his team do on the practice field into the games. The Giants haven't done so in 2 preseason games so far. One caveat, Odell Beckham Jr. and Eli Manning did not play in week 1. They were on the field in week 2. Beckham, fewer snaps than Manning. But Eli Manning has 44 passing yards this preseason. That's anemic no matter how many plays he's had. The Giants as a team, 8 turnovers, 10 points, and 17 penalties through 2 games. As Manning and many of his teammates have said, they have a lot of room for improvement, and they get a chance right over here at MetLife Stadium against the New York Jets on Saturday to show that improvement in the all-important 3rd preseason game.
Thanks so much. Kim Jones coming to us live from Giants camp this morning.